This is a podcast called 25 Whistles, talking football, and they all wear a whistle. Yeah, it's stupid, but what did you expect? It's a podcast called 25 Whistles. 25 Whistles.
Oh, it's the big NFL preview show brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Blow the whistle, Eddie. All right, let's talk NFL. So what we'll do is we'll go through each division. Eddie, Kevin, myself.
Okay.
We'll pick the division winner. And then we'll celebrate ourselves because we'll obviously be very wrong.
For sure.
This is kind of how it works. There's a certain amount of teams that always make the playoffs that didn't the year before. We'll start AFC South, which traditionally the last few years have been a very weak conference. Texans, Jags, Colts, and Titans. Texans were 10-7 last year. Obviously, C.J. Stroud. Who do you think is going to be that number one wide receiver over there? Tank Dell. Do you think it's?
They got Robert Woods too. Right?
Well, no, and also they just got.
Stephon Diggs.
And he's already he's all
Nico
complaining.
Collins.
Nico Collins. Diggs is complaining every play already.
Yeah.
Like even preseason. Hey, I'm here. I'm open. Throw me the ball. Like the camera stays on him, just lecturing Stroud the whole time. So Texans, Jags, Colts, and Titans. Probably, I'm going to assume. I think the Texans win the division. Right? Does anyone not think it's the Texans?
No.
I
mean, I want to hope maybe the Colts and Anthony Richardson can kind of turn that thing around, but I don't.
See, I would think the Jags more than the Colts.
Same.
Really?
Another year of Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence, who I still think is really good. We've seen him win a playoff game. We've seen him be almost great at times. Where Anthony Richardson, he was like lightning in a bottle for a few games and he got hurt. Really. I'm gonna go Texans, Jags, Colts, Titans. But I don't know what the over-under is on the Titans, but I do feel like they may win a few more games than people think. I don't think they're as terrible, or they're going to be as terrible. Obviously, Levis, a lot's going to depend on that.
Losing Derrick Henry. I mean,
their offensive line's a little better, but with Derrick, they were terrible. They had no quarterback, no offensive line. They have a whole new offense, though. Derrick Henry would not have fit in the offense because you got the offensive coordinator for the Bengals.
Yeah.
They need pass-catching running back, so they have two, Spears and your boy from the Cowboys.
Yeah, you got Pollard.
Yeah. So
They've got some weapons, though.
Yeah, and especially if Hopkins comes back healthy.
Mm-hmm. It's 5.5 wins, total wins.
5.5. You got to go over that, right?
See, I would think over 2, but
6
it felt
games?
so easy that I have to be wrong.
I know.
Because anytime I think, for sure, I'm so wrong.
Right.
So we're all going Texans.
Yeah, I think you have to.
What's the headline for the Texans? Can they do it again? That's the headline. Can they surprise? Because it's not a surprise, but can they prove them right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the headline.
Yeah.
What's the headline for the Jaguars? You just paid him a bunch of money, and you got a Super Bowl coach. So now win.
Yeah, can Trevor Lawrence?
That's what I'm saying.
Prove
You
us
just paid
right.
him, just paid him a bunch. Yeah. Prove everybody right.
Yeah.
What about the Colts? Is it all Anthony Richardson?
All Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, because Gardner almost took him to the playoffs.
Gardner did make the Pro Bowl, but so did I.
Yes, exactly.
Everyone gets
So
to
it's
go to
like
the Pro Bowl.
Richardson just has to be pretty good.
I don't think pretty good is a floor. I think awful is the floor. And I don't think he can play and be pretty good. I think he's either awful or freaking amazing.
Yeah, 100%
with just
or
his
nothing.
style of play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think he's just going to sit in the pocket and throw 22 balls.
Right.
So it's, can Anthony Richardson stay healthy? Who is Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
That might be the headline. Who is Anthony Richardson?
I like that.
Yeah. Will
also-
he stand up?
You see, you went too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the real Anthony Richardson, please stand up.
Please stand up and not be injured
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
without crutches.
Yes.
But Jonathan Taylor is like, he's part of the team as the season starts. Remember last year it was all dramatic. Like he wanted his money. And
Yeah.
I'm always for everybody getting paid because their lifespans, their careers are very short. And then the Titans, Will Levis.
Will
Levis. Will Levis?
Yeah, Will Levis will.
Will Levis. And he was fine at Kentucky. At Penn State, he's at Penn State before Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like, I just have a very, very short, because he played a little at Penn State, right? He didn't come as a backup. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just remember watching clips of him.
I don't remember him like watching him on TV, but I do know that he came from there.
Do you remember watching him at Kentucky?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I meant Penn State.
Same. He also Will Levis is like putting out a mayonnaise scented like cologne, deodorant, some body wash type thing.
It smells like mayonnaise.
Makes me not like him because he does the mayonnaise in the coffee.
Yeah,
That's like his weird thing he did once. I don't know if he really does it.
It's like the Mahomes ketchup on mac and cheese or something, I think was the thing. You remember that?
I've seen that before though, like kids.
Well, he was like talking about how he loves ketchup. So this is Will's thing.
But do you not remember he went viral last year? He's sitting at a table and he squirts the mayonnaise in like the coffee and drinks the coffee. It's disgusting. And I hate mayonnaise so much, it makes me root against Will Levis.
they'll
Just
have
because
it,
of that.
and it's here in Nashville at like certain locations, coffee shops.
Really?
Where they'll have like the drink. It's like a mayo infused coffee or something.
Oh, is it a coffee? I thought it was like a cologne too that smelled like
Well,
mayo.
that too. They have all that too because the
God, that
commercial
sounds
is
like
like
a
a funny
disaster.
spinoff.
I'm starting to hate him now.
God, yeah, see what I mean? And he did nothing to us. It's just he's too attached to mayonnaise. The AFC North, last year the Ravens were 13-4. The Browns were 11-6. The Steelers 10-7, and the Bengals 9-8, which you had 4 winning teams. What's interesting about this is the Bengals went 9-8 without a healthy Burrow. And so that's always, like, that's everyone talking about the Bengals this year, period. If Burrow stays healthy, we're going to remove that from our vernacular because the same thing. If Lamar stays healthy,
Sure.
and sure, Burrow has a history of the last couple of years of not being healthy, but Lamar had a run of not being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all these quarterbacks have
Yeah.
injury seasons that they've been through. So everybody's healthy in this perfect world, okay? We're in a vacuum. Everybody's healthy. Ravens, can they get Lamar to the Super Bowl? That's the big question. Derrick Henry, I think, is going to be a boss. I think Derrick Henry is going to thrive. They have a pretty good offensive line. I'd say 7 out of 10. They have a pretty good offensive line. Henry's coming from like a 3 out of 10 offensive line. The focus is not just going to be on Derrick Henry. It can't be because Lamar is where the focus has got to be. Mark Andrews back healthy, who's freaking awesome when he's healthy.
Zay Flowers.
So
We got receivers.
the Ravens are going to be lethal. So I'm going to go with the Bengals winning the division.
No!
Dang it.
Dang, what a rope-a-dope.
I'm going to go with the Bengals winning the division. So I'm picking the Bengals. Eddie?
I'm going Ravens. I think the Ravens are too stacked to not win that division. Yeah, the Bengals are going to be a threat for sure. It's going to be tight, but I think at the end, the Ravens are going to take it.
Kevin?
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Ravens too. I want to say the Bengals, but I just trust the Ravens a little bit more.
The only person to look down Mahomes and beat him, Joe Burrow.
I know.
And he's healthy.
Are you guys just riding off the Steelers?
But, oh yeah.
No, we can get there.
Because it is a two-man race, I think.
We can get there. I think the Browns are going to be pretty good
Yeah, they got a shot.
to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're going to win. Because remember, everybody's healthy, guys.
That's right. That's
Everybody's
right.
healthy. I don't know that they can win the division. This is a really strong division. Like all 4 of the teams could have winning records again. The thing about the Steelers, I just feel like there are going to be quarterback issues all season long because I think the players like Justin Fields way better. And Fields has a much higher upside for longer
Then Russ.
than Russ.
You think they're going to be switching them back and forth?
No. But every quarterback gets hurt now at some point of the season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, when you say like 70% of the quarterbacks have some issue during the season, some much smaller than others.
Or they miss a few games.
Where they miss a game or,
Yeah.
or a half or like I feel like now you kind of have to have a pretty good backup that can come in and be serviceable. But I'm going to go Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers. Steelers have a very tough schedule. They may be the only team not to be above 500. But I'm going to go Bengals, Ravens, Browns, Steelers, with 3 of those teams having a shot to make the playoffs. Eddie, what is your order?
Yeah, same as you, but I'm switching Bengals and Ravens. Ravens number 1.
Kevin?
Same as Eddie. Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers.
What's the headline for the Ravens?
Henry runs hungry.
Man, you're a terrible headline writer.
Can Lamar get as far
Oh,
as the Super Bowl?
with this squad.
No, it's a Super. It's a
long.
super. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Super Bowl win. It's
So say, well, Lamar.
It's a Super Bowl. Can Lamar get that far?
Oh,
I
there
like
is.
it. I like it.
Ooh.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's
Will
right.
I
Lamar
mean
raise
that.
the bar?
What?
Will Lamar raise the bar?
Fair.
That's a good
I like
rhyme,
the one you
dude.
had,
That's
though.
fair. No, that's fair.
Yours was
Yeah.
better.
I really wanted to hate, but that was a pretty good one.
Yeah, yours was better.
Yeah, no. Because if they don't get to the Super Bowl, that's kind of a bust for them. I don't think they have to win
yeah.
it. I don't think they have to win it for it to be a bust.
They should get there.
But I think for them to have a successful season, they need to get to the Super Bowl. The Bengals.
Can they claw their no?
Oh, you going with the Tiger?
Burrow.
Can,
Burrow.
I'm anxious to hear where you guys go with this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
can Joe burrow himself back
Oh,
to health.
to health? There you go.
Oh, that's
There
so
we go.
good.
That's good.
All right.
I like that one.
But isn't Burrow go down?
Yeah.
Can he
Burrow's
burrow?
the opposite.
Burrow out of.
No.
Okay.
You know,
okay. Yeah, Eddie, shut up.
they need to shut up.
I'm just the reader, man, and it's not making sense to me. But okay.
Deshaun Watson.
Oof. You
We don't even
my
want to do a headline. You know, because I had like three. I'm just going to step out of that one.
I got a lot there.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna we'll move off.
Okay.
AFC West. Chiefs were 11-6 last year. Raiders and Broncos both at 8-9, and Chargers 5-12. I would assume we're all
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Can the Chiefs three-peat?
Yes.
That's that headline. We don't have to rhyme, by the way. It's just fun to do that.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, but that's it, right? Can the Chiefs do it again? That would be super cool if they did. Nobody hates the Chiefs. Some people could be annoyed at the Chiefs, like Patriots fans who don't want to hear that dynasty might be challenging. Right? That's you.
Yeah.
But nobody really hates the unless you're like Taylor Swift, and then you don't even hate the Chiefs, you hate yourself.
Right.
Hmm.
No,
You can be annoyed at what the coverage is doing, but you're not really annoyed at what they're doing. Like, what's Travis Kelce done that would make you not like him other than be overexposed, which is nothing that he did.
He does. He throws some temper tantrums.
on the
Who
field.
Yeah.
doesn't?
Yeah.
You just see him more. I'm saying you have
Tom
to.
Brady threw a lot of temper
Of course
No,
he
no, no,
did.
no, no.
Of course
Yes, he did.
No. Not
Okay.
like Kelsey.
So let's say we think the Chiefs are going to win it.
Yes.
Do we think the Chargers, like they've got like one receiver?
Who is that?
Is Jerome Brown? Is he their number one? I would even look that up.
Palmer. Josh Palmer.
Josh Palmer. Okay, got it.
Who?
Josh Palmer. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Quentin Johnson. Will he do it?
Oh, Quentin. Yeah.
No, the answer is no.
Yep.
Was he a rookie? He's a rookie, right?
No. Second.
Second year.
Second year.
And they were calling him a bust. TCU.
Yeah.
Like crushed at TCU. They were calling him a bust, but can you fully bust after 1 year and there's a coach firing when Staley was a defensive coach? So
Jerry Rice's kid? Is he
still, it's his first year to play.
Okay.
He was drafted 7th round this last year. He's a big guy,
Ah,
thick guy,
you met him, huh?
big old butt.
Really?
You know how I like my big butts on dudes.
You do.
Playing football. The Broncos could be pretty good. It looks to me from what we've seen, and again, we recorded this preview show a few days prior to when it's airing, so there could be some injuries, or we could just pull them out if it does happen. But with the Broncos and the offense that they run, they might have found their quarterback.
Little Bo.
Yeah, Bo Nix. And maybe just because he's white and small, we're all like, Breeze part 2.
Same build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Chiefs. Broncos, Chargers, Raiders.
Ooh.
Dang, Raiders last, huh?
Oh, yeah. What do they got going over there?
I was listening to a guy tell me a story about interim coaches. Because with the Raiders, their coach was an interim coach, right? So last season, that was last season, right?
Yeah.
So he goes in, the team loves him. They win a little bit. And the reason that a lot of owners will let their teams with their main coaches ride out and die and not fire them is because they don't want an interim coach to bring new energy that's pretty temporary into a locker room, have some winning, and then everybody's fighting for that guy to be the coach when they don't have the credentials. They don't have anything to actually be that coach other than some new energy, maybe the benefit of a positive couple of games in the schedule. Yeah. And I'm not saying that's what happened here, but that could be what's happened here.
That's fair.
But sometimes you can find a star like that, and they might have found...
I would say 95% to the history of time of interim coaches, they did not find the star. If we're playing odds.
Yeah.
But also I just made the odds up, so I don't know.
It sounded good.
AFC East, Bills are 11-6, Dolphins 11-6 last year, Jets 7-10, Patriots 4-13.
Oof.
What's interesting about this is do they get to field a full 11 players?
Right?
Yeah, well, I mean, will they? Who knows? You know, do they all get pads? You know, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how bad they suck.
I mean,
It'll be a rough season.
They are like one of the contenders to being last next year, right? They could finish last.
They could have the number 1 pick again.
Yeah.
Or not again, but they could have the number 1 pick overall. They had a top 4 pick last year.
Yeah.
But like, hey, look at Milton. Oh, Tennessee, 6th round pick.
Yeah, Joe Milton.
Joe Milton.
Yeah. Yeah, but we still got Drake May. And I'm all right with the top pick next year because we need offensive line so bad. And I don't want to put May behind that offensive line. It'd get ugly.
It's going to be a tough year for you.
Yeah, it is. It's
That's
all right.
okay. You won a bunch of games and won a bunch of championships.
And the Celtics just won, so we're good.
There's no need for that.
That makes you feel better?
Yep.
Bills, Dolphins, Jets. Those are your 3. Who wins the division? Eddie.
Man, we're playing that whole everyone's healthy here, and I'm assuming that if everything's right for the Jets, this could be the year that the Jets win that division. I know it's the battle between the Bills and the Jets. I, for some reason, just think that this is the year the Bills are going to struggle. Don't know why. I feel like Josh Allen was kind of on the struggle bus a little bit last year. He came out of it. He finished strong, but I think this is the year where the Bills struggle a little bit and the Jets take the division.
I mean, I think if there's a reason that he struggles based on what we know now, he doesn't have anybody to get the ball to.
Yeah.
He's no wide receivers that have been proven at all. We've seen Mahomes. We saw Peyton Manning. We saw those guys win without wide receiver 1s, basically a bunch of wide receiver 3s. But that would be why I think if they're not able to score a bunch of points, is because they don't have the wide receivers. James Cook, running back,
Yeah.
he had a really good second half of the year
he
last
did.
year.
Kincaid is good.
They have 2 tight ends that are pretty good. So, boy, I think everybody's going to pick the Bills.
That's kind of why I went Jets.
Well,
I'm going Dolphins.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot there.
but you do know that it's winter when the playoffs happen. Yeah, you got to get to a coat or something.
But does
'Cause as
that
soon as
really matter?
Oh, yeah.
what do you mean?
But you're
okay,
saying to pick the division, not the Super Bowl, not
yeah,
the
we're saying
AFC.
pick the winner.
Yeah,
Pick,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
those
I
games
see.
at the end, though, they do matter.
You got a solid month of cold weather at the end there.
Wasn't great for him.
But like, say you grew up in like Minnesota, but now you live in Miami. Like, you can still play in the cold, even though you've only lived in Miami a year or two.
Did Tua grow up in Minnesota? I don't
No,
think he
he's
did.
Hawaii. But
Yeah, that's like the worst example ever.
Tyreek, come on, Tyreek. Where's Tyreek from?
I think it gets it. Where we live now is pretty temperate. It gets kind of cold, but god dang, we go somewhere super cold. It hurts.
It hurts.
More than people who live there. I'm taking the Jets too because their offensive line is heavily improved. If Aaron Rodgers can be a 7 out of 10, if Breece Hall, who had to catch a bunch of balls last year because they were always behind, they didn't have a quarterback. Breece Hall's awesome. He doesn't have 2 years in, but he was injured for a whole his rookie year. He got hurt like a third of the way through. Breece Hall's awesome. And we're in a vacuum. Everybody's healthy.
Right.
I'm still taking the Bills.
I thought you were going Jets.
I'm still taking the Bills, but I do think the Jets are going to be fun, and they're going to win.
And Miami only because of temperature.
And Miami's going to win a bunch of games.
But towards the end there, they're going to struggle.
They got to get him a coat. Have they tried North Face? There's a couple brands he should really focus on to
New
stay
team
warm.
sponsor.
Yeah. Kevin, you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dolphins. I want to go out on a limb here a little bit. The top 3 is going to be tough, and then my Patriots going to be bad. But I'm going to say the Dolphins. It's the year they take that next step. Tua takes that next step.
Sure.
He got paid, and he's ready.
What's a success for you as a Patriots fan with the Patriots?
It's taken me some time to adjust. I'm not going to lie, because I think the over-under is 5 games, and I'm like, easily over. And then I look at their schedule last year, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we only won 4 games.
Last year, you only won 4 games.
Yeah.
Do you think
I
they
know.
should cut Bailey Zappi?
Yeah, they probably will.
I mean, like, you have 2 quarterbacks. They both need snaps because you're not really trying to win, I guess, unless they're both just so overwhelmed.
Yeah, and then especially if we get rid of Judon, because there's a lot going on with that right now, and he's like...
See one of the Rascal Flats?
Yeah.
Judon Rooney?
Yeah.
Then they're definitely rebuilding, but I'm going to go with that over-under. If we win 5 games, 1 more than last year, it's a success.
Oh, boy.
So 5 wins. That's
5
wins.
wins.
That's going to be tough.
I know.
Because you don't have a quarterback yet. He's so raw looking.
Yeah.
And you don't have an offensive line.
And I don't care if he doesn't play at least half the year.
And Juju don't even Jew there anymore.
Yeah, Juju
He's out.
gone.
Juju.
Yeah. So who's going to get the ball?
They got some weapons.
Yeah.
Pop Douglas.
Yeah,
They got
exactly.
KJ Osborne.
Huh?
Jalen Polk.
Huh?
Ramondre Stevenson. He's a stud, but his
He is
O-line
good.
Oh, yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, he's good. But yeah, his O-line sucks.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. Okay, that's the entire AFC. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and get into the NFC right after this. All right, we're back. NFC South, Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Panthers. Probably the weakest division.
Tough. It's tough to pick a winner here.
I feel like I am comfortable betting a large amount of sum of money on who wins this division.
Oh, with your boy? You think your boy can do good in Tampa?
Why don't you pick who you think's going to win the division?
I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins
That's
and the
exactly
Atlanta
who
Falcons.
I would go with too.
But there is Tampa, though. And there is Baker Mayfield.
But I would say Kirk Cousins won, and I agree, but I'm not going to pick it and then fight for the other one. That's a weird argument.
It is weird. But
Yeah.
because
But
I am going with the Falcons.
I would say Atlanta has more weapons as well as a more proven quarterback at the same time. Kyle Pitts might actually be a tight end that can catch some balls.
Is this the make or break year for
It has
him?
to be.
It has to be, right?
It has to be. I've drafted him every year in fantasy. I want to
Yeah.
Drake London,
Yeah.
like who's legit, but you can't be legit if you don't get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirk Cousins is if that Achilles is good, and it seems to be, they're going to be a solid maybe 10-win team. I think 10-7 is probably a pretty good number for them to chase. But I'll go Falcons as well. Falcons, then Bucks. I think give me that Panthers over under, because I do think they win more games this year for sure than last year. They won 2 games last year.
A little stronger O-line.
And I think
Gosh.
hopefully Bryce has grown a little bit. You know, he's 15 now.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting taller.
Oh, you don't? I
don't think so.
Oh, dang. I think the Panthers are a little better. I think the Panthers are back they're in that chase though at like number 1 pick again.
4.5.
Same as the Patriots.
Yeah.
I'd probably go over though because they play weaker teams than the Patriots generally. Probably go the over on that one. But I would go Falcons, Bucks, Saints, Panthers. Who are you picking to win it, Kevin?
Yeah, it's Falcons year with Kirk. They're back to get on top. But Penix did look good.
He did.
He's slinging.
He did. NFC North is going to be a super fun division to watch.
Yeah.
Just because of all the stories and all the places. The Lions could win the Super Bowl. I don't think they need to actually win the Super Bowl for it to be a successful season. I think getting to the Super Bowl is that bar for them. I think they get to the Super Bowl, that's big.
I want to see that city. It's going to be going crazy.
The thing about Detroit, though, and God bless them, if they have a great run, they may burn it down in happiness. It's one of those.
That's true.
We won, burn it down. Or we lost, burn it down. They need to go to the Super Bowl, probably even for themselves, for us to feel like that was a great season. Now, we're not talking about the Super Bowl here, but I feel like it's Super Bowl or bust, not Super Bowl win or bust for them.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers, Jordan Love just got paid.
Yeah,
they love Jordan Love. I don't know who the number 1 receiver is there.
Tanyan, or is it he's?
Well, he's a tight
Tonyan.
end.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Christian
could be his
Watson.
first receiver.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't-
well, yeah. I mean, they actually have receivers.
Yeah.
But like, who is it? The Vikings? Obviously, that quarterback situation is now fixed. Now, if for some reason McCarthy has like a knee growth and
Yeah.
it's all fixed and he's amazing.
Meniscus, was that
Yeah.
what it's called?
The meniscus is weird because you can actually cut it out and remove it, and
It's like gallbladder?
well, you can play without it. You don't need it, but it's bone on bone, and it ends up hurting you bad
Oh.
later. It hurt later. You can actually, or you can repair it, and as you've we'll just say sewn it together. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, how do you know all this stuff, man?
I have a friend who tore his,
Okay.
professional athlete, but not a football player. But it takes for a while for that to actually recuperate longer if you want to do it right, and then it's healthier for longer. Your life is better. But I think Sam Darnold could be pretty good. He's got a good coach. Quarterbacks thrive.
Yeah.
And then the Bears, I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch, though.
It is going to be fun.
Caleb's got a big butt.
You love his butt.
Yeah.
Do you think the Bears finish ahead of the Vikings?
Yeah, probably. I think the Bears have too many weapons. And the Bears' defense is pretty good, too.
That's a tough one, too. That division.
They all could be
Yeah.
500 or better.
Yeah.
I have decent expectations for the Bears. because they have so many weapons. All Caleb Williams has to do is be pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna go Lions, then Packers. But I think the Bears could possibly win 9 or 10 games. That's a lot. That's a lot for a rookie quarterback, though.
Oh yeah.
Eddie,
I'm going to go with Lions, win the division. I mean, they're going to be good again this year, I think. And Jordan Love, I think, is just he ended strong last year,
Sucks
got
for
paid.
you.
I mean, I think the Packers are going to be good,
they ran
unfortunately.
the Cowboys.
I remember that.
That sucked.
I remember that. And then, I think Bears, Vikings.
Kevin,
Yeah. Same exact order.
all Lions all time.
Yeah.
All right, 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, NFC West. Cardinals will be different because Kyler will be back for a full year.
Yeah. Will that matter?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, has there been a new Call of Duty patch put out? I mean,
It's funny.
are we good?
New one is coming out.
It is.
Yeah.
Thanks, Reed.
It's not the Seahawks because I don't think Geno's that guy. I think Geno's a guy, pretty good guy. I don't think he's that guy though. I think the Rams are going to be when Stafford's healthy. Man, they're really good. And if Cooper Kupp and Puka,
We're all healthy, right?
we're all healthy.
Yeah, we're all healthy. We're in the
healthy.
bubble.
We're in the vacuum.
Yes.
Vacuum, that's what it is, not the bubble.
I still think it's the 49ers, but I think the Rams are going to be really good. So I'm going to go Niners, then Rams. Eddie?
Yeah, Niners for sure, unfortunately, again. Rams, man, you got Stetson Bennett back there just in case Garoppolo and Stafford gets hurt. Then hey, dude, I love Stetson Bennett. I only want good things for Stetson
Well,
Bennett.
if Jimmy G goes in there, he's not lasting all season.
Incorrect.
Okay.
And then I guess Cardinals, and
Over
then
the Seahawks?
Seahawks.
Seahawks
Yeah.
are always solid.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel like Seahawks are always solid.
I do like Pete Carroll.
What do you got?
Well, he's not there anymore.
Yeah, he's done.
No, I just mean like Seahawks like Pete
Like
Carroll. and all that.
he's like, I do like Sean Alexander. Okay.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah. Okay.
Beast mode. Big fan of beast mode.
I got the same as Eddie, actually. I'm going to put the Cardinals ahead of the Seahawks, and then 49ers to win it, and the Rams coming in second.
NFC East: Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Commanders.
Easy.
Is it?
Yeah, simple.
Well, for you, because
Simple.
you're talking with your heart, not your head.
No.
Go ahead.
This is all knowledge. Cowboys won.
There's so much contract talk.
Yeah, dude. What's happening?
How do they have it? And
Like,
again, some of the stuff will be settled by the time this airs.
Sure. Hopefully. I mean, CD took all his stuff down social media. He's not a cowboy. According to social media.
That'll be fixed by this.
Why do they do that, though?
All that'll be
Let's
fixed
just
by
stop all
this.
this.
The Dak contract talk is going to be all season long.
Yes. But, man, I mean, dude, watching Trey Lance in the preseason,
No.
Stop.
I'm not saying that Trey Lance is the dude. But when he runs with the ball, I'm
wrong
like,
with
gosh,
you?
this is what the Cowboys need. Someone that has legs.
This is the problem with the Cowboys fans.
Stop.
Because they'll end up with Trey Lance and they're like even more miserable.
Yeah.
no,
Or
but
Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett, dude. You got to respect him.
So Cowboys or Eagles basically is what
Yep.
it is. And obviously you're going Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Kevin?
Yeah, I got Eagles, then Cowboys, then Commanders, and Giants.
Gosh, Giants are going to be bad.
Oh, Giants. Daniel Jones looks pretty good with that beard.
So you think the beard's going to win the conference?
I think he looks like a different dude. Like Neighbors.
what does that mean?
The beard to Neighbors.
Beard to neighbor.
It's weird that the Commanders might actually be pretty good because the Commanders are they just suck.
I hope they are. You see they signed Martavis Bryant?
I did not see that.
Oh,
I probably did since we recorded this. but
yeah.
I have to pick the Cowboys because I bet.
Let's
I bet
go!
$1,500 on win the Super Bowl for like
course.
$20,000.
Yeah, dude. You think that O line's going to be good without Kelsey? Dude, they're missing a big part of that O line. And then you're going to have Hurts running for his life every single play. They're going to be terrible.
New offensive coordinator.
Yeah, they're going to have to learn a whole new scheme. Like,
Not really.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator for you guys.
Yeah.
They got to learn a whole new scheme.
Dude, he's the head coach of the Vikings. He's a good dude.
He's coach.
Good dude.
Your
Smart
old
guy.
DC though is at the Commanders now.
I know. He's going to be trouble when we go to Washington.
What do you mean he's going to be trouble?
Well, because he's going to know us. He's going to know what to do. He's going to know what McCarthy's doing.
I think everybody does.
Now you're talking crap.
All right. All right, let's get over. We went to LA Chargers training camp in early August, and we were at the facilities, and we got to talk to a few players, and we talked to Brenden Rice, the son of Jerry Rice, but I made sure not to ask him any questions about Jerry purposefully.
Smart.
Like
Kids don't like that.
I wanted to be, everybody asked about Jerry Rice, and I just wanted to go, and I led with, hey, do you want me to ask you any questions about Jerry Rice? I didn't. I never brought it up.
That would have been cool.
He was drafted in the season after spending the last few seasons at USC. He is a beast, physically a beast. So here's a few minutes with Brenden Rice. Some of these guys that come from Minnesota, Nebraska, wherever they get drafted, like it's got to be great to tell them how lovely California is all the time, right?
Yeah, it's lovely to be here in California. I mean, I came from USC right down the street.
Right down the road.
And I get to be thankful, man. Like, I'm here each day in and day out, and I'm looking up in the sky, and it's 70 degrees all the time, and I'm just like, wow, I'm blessed.
Some of these guys, we walk to the locker room and, they got 2-star, 3-star, not rated, up on the lockers for a reason. Why do you think that culture has started here with you guys?
Honestly, them stars never meant anything, even coming out of high school. The culture is, we want the nitty-gritty guys, the one that's going to get down and put their fingers down in the mud and go ahead and crawl through the trenches with us. That's all we want.
What does Coach look for out there in this practice, this far in camp?
This far in practice and this camp, he's looking for dogs, man. He's looking for guys that are really hustling and going ahead and putting forth the effort each day in and day out and see, are you making progress towards your goals?
Can you be a dog in this part of camp if you're not hitting each other?
Oh, yeah. I can physically and mentally dominate you every play.
Are you studying before practice?
Of course.
And what are you studying?
Some of my warps, my fast plays, maybe just like certain how he wants to route or techniques of other players in the past.
What's been the biggest change with the coaching from where you were last year at USC to here with the Chargers?
I would have to say the details are the only things here. Everything matters because at this point in time, time is of the essence in this game. It's so much faster. The D linemen are getting off the ball so much quicker. You're going to have to go ahead, get in and out that route. So Justin, go ahead and put you in the right direction.
You guys have had practice with the Rams already, right? What was that like actually playing against those other guys? You don't practice with every single day.
I thought the speed was going to be like a big jump in the NFL, but our coaches have put us in the right position that the game actually slows down because of how fast we're going each and every day.
Do you have somebody on this team that has been a bit of a mentor to you just in your brief time here, or that you look up to if you have questions about playing in the league?
Oh, there's plenty of guys. Of course, Herbert, even Stick, in our own receiver room, Joshua Palmer. There's plenty of guys, even Derwin James and Khalil Mack. It's just, I would like to go ahead and see how they lead so I can go ahead when my time comes, I can do it in the right way.
Give me your Mount Rushmore favorite players growing up. When you were watching football, those four were your absolute favorites.
Julio Jones, Megatron, Devontae Adams, Antonio Brown.
All receivers.
Larry Fitzgerald, of course. Why would I say anything else?
I don't know. Maybe there was a quote. Did you always play wide receiver as a kid, or were you ever the premier athlete they wanted to put everyone on the field at once?
I was everywhere. I was running back. I played lineman, quarterback.
You played
DB.
lineman?
Yeah.
Why? Who would put you at lineman?
I was a dog.
I'm sure you were. Man. No, I know. I just can't believe they would put you at lineman.
Thank you.
You healthy?
Yeah, I'm healthy.
I really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Have a great season. Yeah,
thanks.
Here's Daiyan Henley, second-year player. Middle linebacker, he'll be starting this year. He played mostly special teams as a rookie last year.
You say Don Henley?
No, Daiyan.
Oh, Daiyan Henley. Gotcha. Oh, the Eagle. It's like, oh, he's training camp. Cool.
They'd really be struggling.
Yes.
So here's Daiyan Henley. I just saw you tell a kid you had him.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine these kids, they live for this, right?
Come on, man. Yeah.
Did you ever get to meet any athletes when you were a kid?
When I was growing up, I definitely met Deshaun Jackson, Martavius Bryant, and I think that was the two biggest guys I had met growing up. Of course, I'm probably missing some, but I'm not at that age.
How'd you meet Deshaun Jackson as a kid?
Oh, well, my dad. So my dad, and he has a connection to a lot of people,
Yeah.
and Deshaun Jackson is from Cali, from Long Beach, so that's not too far from me. I'm from here as well, so that just kind of happened.
This your second camp?
This is my second camp.
Going into this, how'd you approach it differently than the first time when you went in wide-eyed and had no idea?
Well, I knew I had this camp and I wanted to come in and approach it with the more intensity. I wanted more from this season. It wasn't just about this camp. I wanted more from this season than last. So I knew that I had to take a different approach. I had to be more detailed, more mentally involved, and come with a better physical, just stance on everything.
When did you start training for this year? So last year ended, you take a break, and then how long until you start getting back on it?
I mean, They say give your time, like your body some rest, but I felt like my last season ended in a way that I didn't want it to. So I mean, I gave myself about a week or two before I started to do like little rehab things, you know, like just warm the body up. But like, we didn't know where our coach was, so I can't say I was like regularly, like ready to figure out like what the playbook was gonna be. But as far as my body, like about a week or two after, I started to like take care of myself, like start to get more active and not just be. It's not normal for an NFL athlete to just sit down and be, you know, stagnant for long.
Has there been a culture change in the locker room with the new crew coming in, new coaches?
Oh, definitely. It's lit.
What's the difference? Like, what's the day-to-day difference?
I mean, first of all, we are, the best way to say it is like we're more detailed, more in depth. I think like from last year to this year, it's a standard that has to be upheld, and that standard is set by the people. One of the best things I've heard so far through all this is like the standard is set by the people. It's not set by the coach, it's by the people who's involved in. I think we have a pretty good standard right now. It's like, you know, we want to cut drag for meetings. Cut drag, meaning like we want to start about 5 minutes ahead. Like you're not late if you get there on time. But amongst the team, that's a little late. You know what I'm saying? Like, be there, bro. So like that's the type of the mentality we have. Like we want to do things the right way. And I think that's just the best way to put it.
What was the first time you met Coach? Or was it a big an all players meeting? Like, how was that introduction?
No, the first time I met Coach, I was walking through the facility. I knew he had just got hired, so I was hoping to catch him because it was a whole lot of media going on. I knew he was a busy man, but I had caught him in one of the middle of his like pants tugs, you know he do. Like I was walking, I didn't know if it was him, but then he hit one of the, I was like, that's my coach. That's my coach. I got to shake his hand, say what's up, and we hit it off, man. Like I think he pretty much hit it off with everybody he probably met because that's just the type of guy he is, but that was a great day.
Before you go into a game, are you prepared that it's going to hurt the entire time? Like, is that it? Because I feel like that, I would be like, man, this is going to hurt the whole game.
I mean, no. No, if you go in with that mindset, you might be scared to make some plays. I want to say I'd rather
Not get hurt, but like hurt. Like it hurts, all right?
Nah. You just prepare yourself for what comes next, but you don't ever think about it. If you come out the game feeling great, did you play hard enough? Did you really play hard enough? That's what you got to think. So you want to go into that game like, no matter what comes at me, I got it. So you don't think about your body. You want to say your body's prepared for anything. Like you want to be prepared for anything that comes at you.
Give me your Mount Rushmore 4 players growing up that you watched that were your favorite.
Okay, so growing up, I would definitely say Michael Vick. Like it's Michael Vick.
Did you play quarterback? Since you were, I'm assuming you were the best athlete in like town, city, state.
You know. Right here, this field, best athlete. You know what I'm saying? No, field, state, city.
Got it. America, world.
Whatever car I'm in,
yes, sir, yes,
whatever
sir,
house
yes,
I'm
sir.
sitting in, whatever couch I'm on.
Yes, sir.
I'm the best athlete.
Best athlete.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, of course I gotta, watch everybody. Randy Moss was the dopest. Like obviously, Tom Brady, Michael Vick, and who else? I would say Ray Lewis. Like those were like my Mount Rushmore, like those the 4 guys. There's 4 heads on Mount Rushmore,
there's 4.
right?
You didn't put Deshaun Jackson on there, but
I love him.
Yeah, was it too much love? Like it was too human?
I'm saying like they say don't meet your idols, because like then they become human. I met D-Jack, and like not only did I meet him, he's family. So like it's not even just like a D-Jack thing for me. It's like that's like my big cousin. So him, I got to watch because one, he was legendary, he's goated, but also I said Michael Vick. And, I'm 24, so, like, my Michael Vick, I barely got any Atlanta Michael Vick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, highlights of Atlanta Michael Vick.
You got Eagles Michael Vick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I got to see him go crazy.
Last question. Last year, your first season in the league.
Yeah.
Who did you line up across from where you had that, all right, I'm about to go hard, but that's freaking cool. I'm lined up across from that dude.
I would definitely say probably I got to see Leonard Fournette, and I was like, it was Leonard Fournette. That's crazy to even think about, like one of those guys, and then being up close in that like proximity of both Mahomes and Lamar is like those are like, you know what I'm saying, you look at those guys and you see what they've done and what they're doing because they're so active. It's like, yeah,
awesome.
That's them.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, see you, buddy.
No doubt. Is that a microphone?
Oh, this?
No, right there.
This? Oh, that's a microphone. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Hall of Fame. That's like broadcast Hall of Fame.
Okay, it don't work.
Not yet.
It don't.
Technology. Just give it a couple years.
Give it a couple years?
Give it a couple years.
I ain't gonna lie, that might work in a couple years, no doubt.
And lastly, it's Dicker the kicker, Cameron Dicker.
Yes.
Best name in the NFL, Dicker the kicker. Made news a few years ago when he got a call from the Chargers in like an emergency kicker situation, and he was going to the Carrie Underwood concert, and then instead he went and kicked and won the game.
That's right.
Big thanks to Cameron for joining us here.
I like the hat.
Thank you.
Is that a team
Team issue?
yeah.
It is.
Does everyone get one of those, or does the?
You have to ask.
Okay, you're the only one wearing it. That's how we found you. We were like, we'd love to talk to Dicker, and they were like, we don't know where Dicker is, and then like, there's.
It's the bucket hat.
There
I
he
just
is.
wear it so people can see me.
When a new coach comes in, does that change your anything as the kicker?
I think if new special teams coaches, yes. With new head coaches, there's certain things that they might implement that they tell the special teams coach to do. But most of the time, special teams coaches have almost full control special teams, and so everything stays the same for me.
How did you meet Coach Harbaugh for the first time, or have you even yet?
I have. Might have been his first weekend or second weekend in town. I texted him in the off season because I was still here, and he and I went to church. So that was my first time meeting him.
How many balls? I have friends play basketball, and they try to get up a certain amount of shots a day or a week. Is it similar with kickers? Is there a number you try to chase?
I try to limit it. So I don't ever really count reps, but I'd put it in the ballpark of like 50 reps on days I kick, and which is twice a week other than game day. So during season, I'll kick Sunday on game day and then do Wednesday, Thursday.
The mental aspect of this is obviously a big part of what you do. Does your heart rate climb during a game, and do you monitor your heart rate?
I think I don't monitor it. I don't think it really climbs. I think it either stays the same or might drop in those moments because I just like to zone out and get as mellow as I can.
Can you zone out if it's a kick to potentially tie or win the game? Can you separate?
Yeah, very easily.
Is that something you could always do?
Something I've been able to do since I was young. So yeah, something I don't know how, but I've just been able to do it.
Is there a difference with a new deep snapper, long snapper, and one that has been around for a long time?
I think just having the stability in his mental side helps a lot because everybody's gonna mess up in some way at some point, and so he knows that's not the way I am. They know that's not the way I am, so he's not worried about anything happening. I think just him being able to help me kind of going into new stadiums, Josh is in year 13 for us, so him being able to just say, hey, in the past, this is how stuff has gone here, blah, 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 and kind of walk me through how stadiums work and all that.
Can you shake off a miss pretty quick?
Very easily, yeah. Makes and misses, I'd say, are gone out of my mind instantly.
What was your biggest high school kick? Not the longest, but the most important high school kick.
We had a game winner, actually a game tying kick, I'll say, against Cibolo Steel when our quarterback went out of the game, and we had our backup quarterback, who was one of my best friends, who went into the game and drove us down the field, and I hit I think it was a 40 or 50 yarder to tie the game.
Did you ever play multiple positions and you were also the kicker, or when did you start going, I'm only dialing in at kicking?
Yeah, when I first started playing football, which was in Shanghai, China, I was a left guard, and I hated it. I thought this sport sucks, this isn't for me. Then we moved to the United States, so 6th grade, I only played soccer, and then 7th grade, we started playing football again, because everybody does in Texas, and I was an O-lineman again, thought this is awful, and decided I'm just going to kick. This is not for me again. And so started kicking from there and kicked all of 8th grade, and then high school, I told the coaches I'm not playing another position, I don't want to do this.
So you chose to only focus on kicking?
Mm-hmm, from 8th grade on.
And when did you start to actually play for the high school team? Was it 9th grade?
9th grade.
Because you can't in 8th yet because it's too many years, right? You get 4 years?
Yeah.
And did you start as a 9th grader on your high school team?
I was on the A team of freshmen, and then sophomore year I won the starting job for the varsity.
Did you punt as well?
I punted junior and senior year.
Could
Sophomore
you
year,
emergency
I didn't
punt
trust
here
me.
now if they needed you to?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'd love to.
Do you ever okay, what about a play if they're like, all right, do you have a play, I don't even want you to say what it is, but you're so excited if they call because it's a fake and you really get to shine?
I wish. That'd be fun. I wish we had the opportunity to.
And then like a direct snap, roll out.
Again,
tight
I
end
wish,
cross.
man. I'm hoping one day they have faith in me, but we'll see.
What do you get out of camp?
I think it's just good to come out here. Be able to kick in front of fans and talk with people, and then hang out with the guys. You have long days with each other, and so being in the locker room, playing ping pong, beating everybody, and enjoying life.
Off season, where do you live?
I travel. I don't
Yeah.
have a home, so I just travel around. I try to do a month in usually another country somewhere and
Wow.
figure something out.
We're off from Austin. I mean, we're Austin folks,
Uh-huh.
and I thought you'd say maybe back in Austin.
I do go to Austin. That's technically home base. I go to
Sure.
my parents' house and just throw all my stuff there, and I'm there for 4 days, and then go on a trip somewhere, and I use that kind of as my resting spot.
How would your special teams coach describe you as a human if someone went up and said, "Hey, what's Cameron like as a person, not as a kicker?"
An awful guy. I just think like a good dude who's lighthearted and doesn't take anything too seriously.
All right, final three. Can you hear the crowd screaming at you when you're about to kick?
Not when I'm about to kick, but like when we're just standing on the sideline, yeah, I listen. But when I run on the field, I don't hear anything. Everything's just kind of like noise.
Can you be iced?
I don't think so.
Do you think more is made of that than actually?
Yeah, I think it's like a silly thing that people bring attention to in a way, just because I'm like, you're gonna make or miss the kick if you ice me or not. Like, it doesn't affect what I'm doing. It's just like, okay, we're just delaying this whole process for everybody. So,
Final question: barefoot? Do you kick barefoot ever?
never.
Okay, that just seems stupid.
Yeah, it wouldn't feel good. It would just hurt the foot.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. My friend Thomas Rhett is a country singer. My friend Rich Eisen is ESPN guy,
Yep.
sports guy. And so I got this error card, and I'm going to auction this for St. Jude. But it's like a Reese Olson card, and we're going to get him to sign it at the end. But I want like prominent people.
Okay.
Would you mind signing it with Thomas Rhett,
Yeah,
Rich Eisen, and
let's do
myself?
it.
All right, I want to give you this marker here. We're going to auction off for charity.
Sweet. Boom.
A+.
There we go. Awesome.
Appreciate you, Cameron.
That's
Thank you,
sweet.
buddy.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the time.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Let's say you're going back to a game. What do the fans yell at you for the most?
What do they yell at me for?
Yeah,
the
like, or
most?
what do they? Because we're watching people walk by, different athletes, and they'll be like, "Interception, 92." Like, what is it that people will scream at you, or remember for? If they're like, "Can I get an autograph?" and they want to share a memory with you.
That's a tough one. Because I spent a lot of time in Jacksonville. I'm part of the game day production right there in the stadium. I get all sorts of stuff. I mean, the 90-yarder from Freddie, you retired Dan Marino. You know, when we beat them 62-7. I love that game, or even the Pittsburgh game, when the 234, the Steeler killer and the Dolphin killer. And
That's cool to have
Yeah,
a
that is
killer,
cool.
any
Yeah,
killer
that's cool.
name. What's it like to break one that's like over 70, 80, 90? When you see a lot of green ahead, like, do you, in your mind, can you outrun everybody on the field the whole time?
oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I would always be like,
You know what? That was always the easy part for me. Like, I'm like, you're in trouble if I get in the open. I've never been run down. So I wasn't ever worrying about them catching me. And to go back to that 90-yard touchdown against the Dolphins in a playoff, which is still a playoff record since 99, I was laughing on my way to the end zone because I knew I had Brock Marion behind me, the same guy my rookie year, the year before, that I skirted off on that 80-yard touchdown on the first play of Monday night. They never knew how fast I was because I was big. They thought, oh, he's a big guy, he's not that fast. Then when we get out there, it was lights out, like you weren't going to catch me. So anytime I got a little crease, I would tell my lineman, just give me a little crease. I would say, look, I'm lubed up, ready to go. I just need a crack. Sorry about that. And, they bust their butts to give me a crack. And once I get through there, man, one missed tackle and I'm out. Exhilarating, like it's the best feeling ever.
I was just thinking about how you would run the ball, because again, you are you have a very physical presence because you're Jack dude.
He's a big dude.
I just wouldn't
Yes.
think that you'd be able to fly like people realize you're able to fly. On the field at times, would some of those guys be like, Fred, we had no idea you were this fast.
See, so I did on purpose. What I would do is I would go and stand by the biggest lineman, so it would make
You would
me
look smaller?
look smaller. And then on game day, I would run through the defensive backs warm-up drill. So when they would see me in person, they would go, whoa, this kid, he's really big. Like, I didn't think you were that big. I was 6'1", 228 when I played. When I was younger, I was 4'2", like 4'2", 8".
That big and that fast.
Catch them off guard a little bit. But my game was, I felt like I can do it all.
What were you like in high school?
I was a 100-meter guy. I ran 100 meters, like 212.
What size were you in like 12th grade?
6 feet, 6'1", 212.
Was it
But,
like man amongst boys?
That was cheating. Yep. I have some games I have 3 carries for, $150, $180.
That's like Madden
And my coach
stuff.
would take me out. Yeah, try to rest me for the next game. Rare that I would play past halftime.
What about when you went to college, and that's a level jump, obviously? Were you still a bit fast for the game?
Everybody's fast then, but I still had elite speed at my size and the position I played. I just didn't know how dominant I could be. So I would always practice hard, and I would look at my teammates and go, why do they look like they're practicing in slow motion? So eventually the difference became you were ready for the next level, and they weren't. And it's no knock on them, but they didn't make it to the next level. And, I had some issues earlier on in my college career that sort of, minimized my play time, but eventually I became the man, and Coach Spurrier trusted in my abilities, and he started feeding me the ball more in a passing offense back in those days. And I had a stretch of a few good games. I was able to parlay that into, great workouts for my pro draft day, and eventually being drafted 9th overall. So
The Pivot's the podcast, right?
Yep.
You guys
Pivot.
Yeah, and it's really cool because there's a lot of NFL perspective. It's not just you.
Right.
So if people listen to the Pivot, what are they hearing? What are you guys talking about? What motivates you guys as ex-players to still talk about something? Like, do you feel like your perspective is still fresh and needed, or is it more like old school, like this is how it should be back in the day?
No, it's really just a locker room vibe. Then we kind of, integrate like culture and real lifestyle. Like we try to be as transparent and authentic as possible. We believe we have a lot of messages and gems to share, especially with, younger athletes or anybody that's a fan of sport. So sport sort of is what leads people to our doorstep. And then the conversation, the things that we talk about in real time, I think those messages are important. The way we highlight and put emphasis on our guests, allowing our viewers and our fan base to really hear from our guests. We learn not to overtalk our guests and let them share their messages and their life experiences. And what people take away from it is a person that's not an athlete or not a celebrity, they go, hey, listen, I go through this stuff. But if I see this fan, or this guest or this celebrity going through it, and they're able to talk about it, they're able to be vulnerable and show us that, and we can hear it all, then I'll be okay. So we just try to elevate those conversations and paint certain pictures. Ryan Clark, who you guys recently had on, is amazing as the driver. Myself, I look to fill the void. If there's something I believe that's lacking or needs to be touched on, then I'll make sure to bring it up. And our third host, Channing Crowder, Channing's the viral moment guy. He's the comedian, the nutcase, the crazy guy on the show. He's going to say something. He's going to travel around the globe, at light speed. But it's my job to kind of bring Channing back down to the center. And that creates the balance for us. So, much like our mantra, accept to just move forward, everybody is going to have their pivotal moment in their life. So we just try to highlight that moment.
You play football for so much of your life, and then it's over. Playing football is over.
It's time to pivot.
Yeah, it's time to pivot. I mean, what's that thought process of when it's over? You're like, oh, crap, what am I going to do?
You know what? So you have to put in the preparation and the planning before that moment comes. Some guys never know when that moment's going to come. So, they're just hit with it abruptly. Myself, fortunately, I was able to play for 13 years. So towards the end of my career, as it started winding down, it became, an exciting, it became a competitive moment for me in my mind, like what's to come, the unknown, like that excites me. Change excites me. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be a statistic like most of the guys that retired. Within 3 years of retiring, most guys are, 87% of the guys are either filed for bankruptcy or divorce. I would say, no, it's my challenge not to be one of those guys. So it excited me to be able to pivot and do things to avoid being that. So every guy has a different perspective, but now we're able to, with our platform, be able to share that message with these guys. You know, the young guys come on the show, look, you got to prepare yourself. This is what it's going to be like. That transition is tough, you know, not just financially, but from a mental standpoint, because you go your entire life, people telling you how good you are. You got the fans. When you don't have that stage any longer, what are you going to do? So these are the different thoughts that we try to share with them, so now they can start putting the pieces together.
Have pulled this from the collection.
Uh-oh, that looks like a rookie card right
Yeah,
there.
would you we're gonna record you signing it.
You know, I don't sign rookies.
Okay,
I
well,
got to
then never
charge
mind.
you for this.
Never mind. Oh, well, hold on. And
Oh, there's the charge.
No, I'm just kidding.
no, there
I'm
it
just
is.
kidding. Anytime I got a black chin strap, that's a rookie card. Or
Is that
from
true?
Yeah, because the league banned the black chin straps after that year. So since '98,
For what reason?
the league reasons.
And who knows?
They didn't give you that reason?
No. You know, but they're a bit more lenient now on a lot of things, and I love it. You know, like the cleat thing.
Yeah.
You know, when they're able to go and get these the cleats
different
calls
cleats.
for your
Yeah.
cleats,
Yeah.
cleats for cause, and then you can see the cancer cleats and the sickle cell, like different reasons why guys wear their cleats and they're able to paint them and get the fans involved. I love that. Back in my day, black, white, whatever the team issue colors were, that's what you were stuck with. And it was plain and boring. The game now is so exciting. It's so fast. They scoring a lot of points. The fans are having a great time. The venues, the stadiums are amazing. So I love it.
We appreciate you stopping by. I think Channing is switching out. He's going to hop up. Is he hopping up now? But you have to take this 20 now.
No, I'm good.
He paid
No,
for it.
you have to.
Fred.
If my signature is only worth $20,
Well,
we got a problem.
we were just using it for our content. But you
Dang.
can.
You know,
All
the
right.
20,
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you what.
Starbucks is
I'll
there.
give this
I'll
to
take it under the table.
All right, that's the end of our NFL preview show. And everything we said is gospel, and take it to the bank.
Oh, it's going to happen too.
Yeah.
Everything.
Every single thing.
Crazy.
It is exciting, though. So, and it's exciting every single year, which you think at this point, after we've done it so many years, it's football's back. You wouldn't be as excited. But
It's exciting every
exciting
year.
Every single year. Thank you, guys. We'll have 2 normal episodes coming up this week. So we'll have one on Wednesday and one on Friday. We won't do 3 episodes every week just because of the college and NFL preview episodes. There's 1 extra. But we will see you guys on Wednesday with another show. Go follow us at Bobby Bone Sports. Thanks for listening to 25 Whistles. Eddie, whistle us out of here.
Here we go.
Bye, everybody.